Snakes really seem to think they are the most terrifying and imposing creatures of all, and they certainly have a bunch of traits that keep them at the top of the food chain. They are stealthy, fast, and quite strong. Oh, and they also bite. Sometimes a snake is bold enough to attack prey many times larger than itself. However, from time to time, it ends up choosing the wrong opponent, and that's when it's really in trouble. From a small furry mammal that outmatches the deadliest snake on earth to an insect with ninja moves that outsmarts even the craftiest snake, here are 20 times snakes messed with the wrong opponent. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Incredible Mantis versus Snake. Without a doubt, we know snakes swallow all kinds of prey and aren't especially picky eaters. But when it comes to who will eat a snake, there are certainly fewer creatures willing to face the slippery serpent, considering all the dangers involved. However, the snake has some surprising mortal enemies, one of which is the small but super scary praying mantis. Even though often smaller than their chosen prey, these insects are not shy at all and are actually quite adept at dining on snakes. Given their small size, it's obvious mantises are more likely to face relatively small snakes. But even so, this is no easy task. Snakes are fast, bite, and are notoriously slippery. So how does the mantis approach this seemingly gigantic task? Well, they have a series of special skills. Mantises are masters of disguise, spending most of their time very still and camouflaging with the environment, so they always have this element of surprise when attacking a snake. Also, they are extremely fast, with ninja-like reflexes, grabbing the snake by the head and biting before the reptile notices the insect's presence. And finally, they are basically total psychopaths. These insects bite the heads off their partners, so why would they think twice about tearing off a snake's face and sucking out its insides? Maybe it's time for snakes to learn not to mess with a mother protecting her babies, because that never ends well. Number 2. Sea eagle captures venomous sea snake from the water. This amazing video of a sea eagle catching a sea snake from the water's surface shows how remarkably efficient these birds are as hunters. The eagle spots the snake and quickly descends toward the water, diving with open talons and grabbing the sea reptile. Then it rises back to full flight, even as the sea snake struggles in the bird's grasp. The eagle remains composed, even as the snake coils around trying to deliver a venomous bite to its attacker. But on this occasion, although the snake appears to have bitten one of the eagle's legs, it does not get the chance to inject toxins. The eagle subdues the snake's resistance attempts and returns to its waiting chicks in the nest. Without further delay, dinner is served and the snake ends up being bitten piece by the hungry chicks' open beaks. Number 3. Ninja rats avoid rattlesnake attacks. The rattlesnake is a venomous viper, also known as the horned snake. They are a kind of nasty business, to be fair, and few animals would really want to encounter one of these reptiles, especially in the dark. So, when tiny kangaroo rats meet these nasty and distinctly deadly vipers, you'd think the little rodents are done for, right? Well, actually not always. The tiny kangaroo rat has an abundance of skills to avoid the rattlesnake's deadly grip, and they're actually quite impressive. Over several nights, researchers in the desert observed interactions between these two species and found that not only are kangaroo rats efficient at evasion techniques, but they're also quite lucky. The kangaroo rat has long, elastic hind legs, hence the kangaroo part of the name, and it turns out they use their unique legs in snake combat. The kangaroo rat's ninja style involves a remarkable ability to leap out of the way of a snake strike. Despite the snake's speed, the rat is often even faster and also seems able to land a solid kick on the attacking snake's face, all while avoiding being bitten. These rats indeed have impressive skills. Number 4. Brave moment, a cat faces a large python to protect its kittens. Well, this may be a moment when a cat is not necessarily doing its usual psychotic things, but has a genuine reason to engage and teach the snake a lesson. A mother cat is a doubly scary proposition. She combines all the intensity of a mother protecting her kittens with her innate skills as a psychopathic killer cat. It certainly must be a very stupid snake to accept this challenge. It's a moment to hold your breath as the colossal python slides across the sand toward the tiny kittens, but just when it seems like it's the end for the kittens, the mother cat uses the classic headbutt move to strike the python's head before making herself look as big and fierce as possible. The old nasty snake is not discouraged at first and continues approaching the helpless kittens slowly and relentlessly, and the imminent cracking of the kitten's bones is getting closer. But then the mother cat loses her patience and unleashes all her fury on this would-be assassin. After a series of heart-stopping moments, the cat manages to get rid of the deadly snake, which retreats in search of an easier lunch. Number 5. Alligator attacks python underwater. Although it seems like an alligator is really at the top of the predator list in most situations, especially in Florida's Everglades, there is another animal that is a threat to these toothy reptiles, the Burmese python. These pythons use Florida's swamps as breeding grounds, and are often found coming into contact with American alligators that live in large numbers in the swampy regions. These two reptiles are now sworn mortal enemies, with alligators frequently devouring pythons, and large adult Burmese pythons representing a real threat to alligators of all sizes. They can easily overpower an alligator under the right circumstances, so this confrontation is really a case of kill or be killed. There is no room for hesitation here. The impressive footage shows the fearless constrictor snake making several lunges at different alligators underwater. It seems unlucky, however, as each battle attempt with an alligator is almost immediately thwarted, since the alligators simply move away from the annoying snake, because these snakes need to coil around their prey and then spend several minutes suffocating their chosen dinner. It can take quite a while to subdue a large alligator. In fact, who knows if they ever really succeed? It seems these big animals might be a somewhat ambitious meal, even for a considerable sized snake like this one, don't you think? Number 6. Brave Pet Dogfaces huge king cobra that slid into their garden in Thailand. Finding a snake in your garden is probably not that unusual, but a 3.6 meter long king cobra is no ordinary snake, and definitely not a guest you want to encourage to stay for long. These two pet dogs decided they were not exactly happy with this snake's intrusion into their territory, and took a very direct approach to ask it to leave. The dogs, named Motown and Lenny, in case you were wondering, and I know you were, ran toward the snake and started barking frantically, all in an attempt to scare the reptile. But as is the case with some large and nasty snakes, this one stood firm and decided to fight back, making some dangerous lunges at the dogs. Now, I'm sure you know the king cobra has an extremely deadly bite, capable of killing a human in very little time. If a dog were bitten, it probably wouldn't survive. So this pair was in great danger while trying to drive the reptile away. The dog's owner said they have killed snakes in the garden before, using a kind of distraction tactic with one dog and a surprise attack with the other. However, on this occasion, the huge snake was removed by reptile handlers from emergency services and released several kilometers away in the jungle, no doubt thinking about new anti-dog moves for the future. Number 7. Leopard attacks python in Krueger. If you think about the behavior of a domestic cat, you might picture a piece of string being dragged across the floor. Then all you need to do is magnify that scene about 30 times. And that's what this situation looks like. This leopard in Krueger National Park, South Africa, watches as a large python slides across the ground under the scorching sun. The leopard is patient, watching carefully, apparently deciding which of its deadly methods it will use to attack the large snake. Whether the big cat is protecting its cubs, defending its territory, or frankly more likely, just being a psychopath with murder on its mind. After all, it's a cat. Nobody really knows, but it seems the snake might not be immediately aware that the leopard is stalking it, assessing it, and planning an attack. Then suddenly, the feline leaps and flips the snake with a powerful swipe of its paw. The snake is probably a little stunned, if not suffering from a significant headache at that moment. Then the leopard goes a little further, dragging the snake by its head for a while before releasing it and watching as the snake makes a quick retreat to the water, now with more knowledge of a leopard's facial features than anyone really needs. Number 8. Mother bird attacks snake after it tries to bite her chicks. In the quiet, sun-dappled branches of a thriving forest, a small bulbul bird family goes about its daily routine, the chicks chirping eagerly in their nest, while their devoted mother flits tirelessly between branches, foraging for food and tirelessly caring for her young. This scene of natural harmony, a snapshot of life's tender cycle, seems like a picture of peace and calm, with the gentle sounds of birdsong filling the air. Yet, beneath this serene veneer, danger lurks quietly in the shadows. For anyone watching, the tension tension in the air is almost palpable. The little chicks, with their soft, fluffy feathers and upward-pointing beaks trembling in anticipation, are completely unaware of the impending threat. Each chirp they emit is innocent, vulnerable, a stark contrast to the predatory menace silently creeping closer. The predator in question is a snake, small, agile, and lethal. Despite its modest size, it carries a fierce, primal determination. The snake's eyes gleam with hunger as it slithers with unnatural grace and patience toward the nest. Its movements are calculated, every inch deliberate, as if it understands the stakes of the hunt. This snake is no stranger to such attacks. Predators of all kinds regularly seek out nests as easy meals, feasting on eggs and helpless hatchlings alike. For a snake, this is a natural, brutal way of life survival through stealth and sudden violence. As the snake approaches the nest, the atmosphere thickens with anticipation. Time seems to slow. The camera, or the observer's eye, holds its breath along with the mother bird, even if she is not yet visible. Suddenly, the snake strikes. It lunges swiftly, sinking its fangs into the soft flesh of one of the chicks. The nest is violently turned over in the chaos of the attack. The chicks, once peacefully chirping, now emit terrified squeals, flapping helplessly within the confines of their fragile home. And just when it seems the snake might succeed in this ruthless ambush, the mother bird arrives a fierce protector with no hesitation and no mercy. The mother bird, though small, embodies the fury of 1,000 storms. She swoops in with ferocious determination, her eyes blazing with maternal wrath. The scene becomes a flurry of motion, wings beating rapidly, beak striking sharply, claws clutching fiercely. She attacks the snake with unrelenting aggression, pecking repeatedly at its head and body, each strike fueled by a primal instinct to defend her offspring. The snake recoils but does not relent initially, struggling against the relentless assault. But this is no ordinary bird defending her young. This is a mother fighting for survival, for the future of her lineage. With incredible tenacity, the mother bird pushes back the serpent, driving it further from the nest. The snake, realizing the futility of its assault against such a relentless adversary, finally retreats. Its slithering departure is swift and defeated a desperate retreat from a foe far more fierce than it anticipated. The mother bird watches the serpent's departure with what seems like a hard-earned satisfaction. Her stance remains defensive, alert for any further threats, but the immediate danger has passed. She turns back to her chicks, now safe once again, their frightened chirps slowly calming under her protective gaze. In this breathtaking moment of raw nature, viewers witness the unyielding power of maternal instinct, a force capable of driving even the most dangerous predator away from what it values most. The story here is not just about survival, it's about the lengths a parent will go to protect their young, the bravery in small bodies, and the fierce love that defies size and danger alike. This harrowing encounter, while uncomfortable to watch at times, is a stark reminder of the challenges faced by creatures in the wild and the incredible resilience that sustains life against all odds. So the next time you see a mother bird quietly tending her nest, remember this moment, the day she faced a venomous threat head-on and proved that courage and love often make the smallest warriors the most formidable. Number 9. Python attempts to attack leopard. In the vast and wild expanses of the Masai Mara Triangle Reserve in Kenya, where survival is a daily test of strength, speed, and cunning, an extraordinary encounter unfolds. This is a story not just of predator versus predator, but of nature's unpredictable hierarchy and the fierce personalities that rule it. Here, a sizable python, a formidable constrictor snake known for its deadly grip and impressive strength, decided to challenge one of the most agile and cunning big cats on the African plains, the leopard. Leopards are among the most skilled hunters in the animal kingdom. Known for their stealth, powerful build, and razor-sharp claws, they are apex predators capable of taking down prey much larger than themselves. Yet they are also, as many wildlife experts and enthusiasts would agree, absolute psychopaths. Yes, psychopaths, not in a clinical sense, but in the way they exhibit calculated, ruthless behaviors when hunting or defending themselves. They play with their prey, they bite with precision, and when the mood strikes, they can be brutal for no reason other than sheer instinct and dominance. On this fateful day, the python made a bold move. Pythons are constrictors, meaning they kill by coiling around their prey and squeezing until the victim can no longer breathe. These snakes are incredibly powerful, capable of subduing animals much larger than themselves through sheer muscular force. It seemed the python, a truly massive specimen, believed it could overpower the leopard, which would be a dangerous gamble for any animal. The python lunged and struck, attempting to seize the leopard leopard with its powerful coils. For a moment, the snake seemed to have the upper hand, successfully wrapping around parts of the leopard's body in an attempt to immobilize it. The air was thick with tension as the two powerful animals wrestled in a primal struggle that could tip either way. The python's muscular grip tightened, but the leopard was far from defenseless. The leopard, with its agile reflexes and sharp claws, fought back with incredible skill. It twisted, turned, and used every ounce of strength to resist the constrictor's deadly embrace. With a series of swift, precise movements, the big cat managed to free itself from the python's coils. The leopard's claws found their mark, slashing and biting the snake with remarkable accuracy. The python's tough scales provided some protection, but the leopard's relentless attacks began to wear the snake down. What makes this encounter particularly fascinating is the clear intelligence and ferocity displayed by both animals. Neither was willing to give up. The python, undeterred by the leopard's sharp claws and teeth, continued its attempts to coil and constrict, using its powerful muscles to try and overpower the feline. Meanwhile, the leopard demonstrated why it is one of the top predators in the wild, combining speed, agility, and sheer brute force to fight off the snake. Throughout the tense struggle, the dynamics of predator and prey blurred. The snake was not merely a victim, but a formidable combatant, and the leopard showed an almost playful savagery, engaging in what looked like a deadly game. This was not just survival, it was a display of dominance, a battle for supremacy in their shared environment. As the minutes passed, it became clear that the leopard had the advantage. Its speed and agility made it impossible for the python to maintain its grip, and the cat's claws inflicted painful wounds. Finally, after a fierce wrestling match marked by tense moments and raw power, the leopard emerged victorious. The python, defeated and grievously injured, slithered away, retreating from the scene of its attempted conquest. Meanwhile, the leopard stood tall, unyielding and dominant, a true testament to the ferocity and resilience of wild cats. The message was clear: no matter how big and strong the snake might be, underestimating the predator instincts and sheer ruthlessness of a leopard is a fatal mistake. This dramatic encounter is a vivid reminder of the harsh realities of nature, where even the most powerful creatures must constantly assert their dominance and fight for survival. It also underscores a broader lesson about the unpredictability of wildlife interactions and the surprising outcomes that can emerge when two apex predators collide. In the end, the leopard was the clear winner in this deadly duel. The python's attack, though valiant, was no match for the speed, cunning, and brutal efficiency of the big cat. So, the tally stands: leopard 1, dead python 0. This story, as thrilling as it is just one of many examples in the wild where animals push their limits, showing us both the beauty and brutality of life on Earth. It reminds us to never underestimate the strength and spirit of any creature, especially when nature's fiercest forces come head to head. Number 11. Woodpecker faces venomous snake to protect its eggs. In the dense and vibrant forests where survival is a daily challenge, a small red-crested woodpecker finds itself confronting one of the most dangerous predators it could encounter, a massive venomous snake stretching an intimidating 3 meters in length. What unfolds is a remarkable and heart-pounding battle, showcasing the relentless determination of this tiny bird and the primal instincts that drive animals to protect their offspring at all costs. Woodpeckers are fascinating creatures, known primarily for their incredible ability to hammer into trees in search of insects and larvae. Their sturdy beaks and rapid pecking are a marvel of natural engineering, but beyond their skill in foraging, woodpeckers exhibit fierce protective instincts when it comes to their nests. This particular woodpecker, despite its modest size, is a formidable defender. The nest, carefully concealed within the hollow of a tree, contains precious eggs that represent the future of its species, and the bird will not back down. The venomous snake approaching the nest is an apex predator in its own right. These snakes have evolved potent venom and lightning-fast strike capabilities, making them highly effective hunters. Their senses are finely tuned to detect movement, heat, and vibrations, allowing them to pinpoint vulnerable targets such as bird nests. To the snake, the woodpecker's nest is an opportunity. Eggs or hatchlings offer a nutritious, easy meal. The snake is relentless in its pursuit, attacking repeatedly with calculated strikes aimed at overpowering the bird's defenses. Despite being bitten at least 4 times during this fierce encounter, the woodpecker demonstrates extraordinary resilience. Each time it suffers a painful bite, the bird quickly recovers, flapping its wings with renewed energy and returning to defend its nest. This remarkable persistence highlights the depth of parental instinct and the sheer will to survive that defines many animal species. The woodpecker's defense tactics are nothing short of impressive. Instead of fleeing or hiding, it adopts a bold posture, using its sharp, chisel-like beak to peck at the snake's vulnerable head and body. The repeated strikes are both a distraction and a deterrent, buying precious time and potentially causing the snake to reconsider its attack. The bird's agility allows it to dodge strikes, leveraging quick movements and aerial maneuvers to avoid the snake's deadly fangs. This conflict illustrates a profound aspect of animal behavior, the intense protective drive of parents. Among birds, such dedication to offspring survival is widespread, from songbirds fiercely defending nests against predators to raptors swooping down on intruders. The natural world is filled with examples of parental bravery. This woodpecker is no exception, embodying the universal truth that the drive to protect one's young transcends size, species, and circumstance. From a biological perspective, the encounter underscores the dynamic balance of ecosystems. Predators like snakes control populations of small animals and maintain ecological stability, while birds contribute to forest health through insect control and seed dispersal. The duel between the woodpecker and snake is a snapshot of this ongoing natural balance, where life and death play out in the shadowed branches of the forest canopy. The woodpecker's beak, a marvel of evolutionary adaptation, is crucial in this battle. Designed to withstand the force of constant pecking against hard wood, it is also an effective weapon against intruders. Combined with the bird's sharp eyesight and quick reflexes, the beak allows the woodpecker to mount a surprisingly effective defense against a much larger adversary. As the snake lunges and strikes, the woodpecker uses every ounce of its strength and speed to retaliate. Each peck is a message. This nest is not an easy target. The snake, faced with such unexpected resistance and potential injury, may eventually retreat, seeking easier prey elsewhere. This story resonates beyond the natural world, inspiring those who witness it. It reminds us that courage and determination can triumph over seemingly insurmountable odds. The woodpecker's fight is a vivid example of the lengths to which life will go to ensure continuation and survival, reflecting an ancient and powerful instinct present across the animal kingdom. Number 12. 5 dogs attack a king cobra. Let's hope these dogs don't end up being bitten by the king cobra, because despite the group's strength, a bite from a king cobra would still be deadly to any of them. As pack animals, dogs are especially well adapted to work as a team against a perceived threat. This group of dogs seems to have a system in place to deal with the most dangerous snakes, like the king cobra. If a dog encountered a king cobra alone, it would probably be at a disadvantage, but the dog's team approach is enough to confuse the snake, drawing its attention in several different directions and causing chaos. The snake, which would usually have the advantage in most confrontations, tries to attack one dog and then another, but each time it finds another dog jumping ahead. This group effort causes the snake to try to attack the dogs one by one, but it fails because each incident attracts a different dog, never giving the snake enough time to bite. Although the video is clearly being filmed by a person, they don't seem to mind the dog's involvement with the deadly reptile, so we can assume everything ended well for the dogs, but probably less so for the snake. Number 13. Honey badger attacking snake. Everyone knows honey badgers are crazy, that's a fact, but did you know these crazies are also basically completely fearless? They have one of the toughest skins in the entire animal kingdom. They are notoriously hard to take down, even for predators with the sharpest teeth around. They are almost bulletproof and can certainly deflect arrows, spears, and machetes, so most animal bites mean nothing to them, and a silly little snake is no problem for these wild ones. And even if they were bitten, it wouldn't make a difference for these animals. They have an adaptation that makes them immune to venom and defenses against the neurotoxins present in snake bites, so a little bite means nothing. For a badger, swallowing a whole snake or even devouring a venomous reptile for dinner makes no difference. In fact, up to 25% of honey badger's diet is made up of snakes. Number 14. Mother rabbit fiercely attacks snake. When a snake tried to eat her babies, this mother rabbit got completely furious. The snake had successfully coiled around the little rabbits, planning a tasty lunch when it was discovered by their mother. And although a rabbit looks cute and delicate, you don't want to mess with one, or her babies, because she is fierce. A common black snake like this one is used to swallowing these furry little creatures as a pastime, so it seemed like a done deal until the mom came home. As soon as the mother saw what was happening, she jumped on the snake, making it drop its prey by surprise. You'd probably think that was all, but then this mom rabbit chases and fights the snake, driving it out of her territory. Who would have thought rabbits were such good fighters? At one point, this incredible rabbit does a somersault, landing with a kick on the attacking snake. Now, I'm not surprised the snake ran away after that, probably deciding it was easier to become a vegetarian than deal with that level of aggression over a little snack. Number 15. Brave mother squirrel faces deadly snake to protect her babies. In a battle between a squirrel and a snake, I'd normally bet on the one with the deadly venomous bite rather than the one with a cute little tail. But this is a mother squirrel, and she's protecting her babies. And a fierce mother is scarier and more powerful than an old mean snake. This epic battle shows how many evasive techniques a small squirrel can have at its disposal when it has babies to protect. The cute tail, for example, is actually a super useful distraction tool. The snake easily gets distracted by the squirrel's tail and strikes at it several times, only to be frustrated every time by the rodent's quick feet and kung fu tactics. She's one tough squirrel, no doubt, literally staring death in the face and never blinking. In fact, she even seems to be taunting. This is a battle of endurance, and although the snake seems the likely winner, the squirrel knows that if she can tire the serpent out, it will simply leave to find easier prey. Number 16. Hen protects her chicks from a king cobra. Again with these annoying king cobras. Do they never learn? You don't want to mess with anyone's mother. This snake was looking for an easy meal and spotted a nest of cute chicks, and it looked like it had found one, but it didn't count on the chief defender of the chicks, also known as the mother, who turned out to be a true beast. Moving her chicks to a safe place, this brave bird kept fighting the snake until all her babies were out of danger. The snake continues its intense threat to the fluffy birds, while the mother guides them one by one out of danger. She keeps attacking the snake and presumably cursing it heavily, all while flapping and distracting it so her chicks can escape. It's an incredible display of multitasking motherhood in the face of deadly danger. It seems that despite the snake's best efforts, it couldn't bite the mother hen or grab a tasty chick for its meal, which is amazing considering the odds. A dangerous snake against a simple hen, but she's a tough mom, a hen braver than anyone could imagine. Maybe calling someone a chicken isn't so fair to hens after all. Number 17. Green frog devours a taipan. Australia is home to most of the things on the planet that can completely kill you. It's amazing anyone actually survives there, especially with all the animals, like the deadly taipan snake lurking under every rock with venom so lethal it can kill a human in 45 minutes. A single drop of its venom is enough to take out 100 fragile puppets made of human flesh. So you'd expect this substance to be dangerous for all living beings, right? Well, interestingly, that's not the case. It turns out humans are just especially fragile and weak creatures who drop dead from a snake's bite. However, the green frog, on the other hand, doesn't remotely mind the supposedly deadliest snake on Earth. In fact, it literally eats these snakes for breakfast. Maybe this particular taipan was out there kissing frogs looking for a prince or something, when this frog got offended by the reptilian kiss and decided to take the relationship to the next level by swallowing the entire snake. The process of swallowing a live snake is uncomfortable to watch, honestly. All that twisting and writhing, well, it's a bit much. Although it doesn't seem to bother the frog at all. It looks like it eats snakes every day of its life, and if anything, it seems downright arrogant about the situation. Number 18. Secretary Bird versus King Cobra. Now, this is an unusual and quite aggressive bird with some elaborate feet. The Secretary Bird is a snake-killing expert, and these creatures don't tolerate disrespect from anyone, much less a snake. In fact, they don't just get rid of a snake efficiently and fearlessly. Oh no, these birds will actually dance on the snake's head before finishing off the reptile. In fact, the snake-fighting style of the Secretary Bird is so well appreciated that people all across Africa keep these birds as pets to protect their farms and homes from pests like snakes and rodents. And it's not just that they kill them. These incredible birds like to sneak up on a snake and eat it as their favorite treat. Oh, and besides that, they also don't refuse a good juicy lizard. Number 19. Slim Mongoose kills Black Mamba. It takes a brave creature to face any predator, and even more so a really nasty and deadly snake like the Black Mamba. The Black Mamba's venom is so effective it has an almost perfect 100% mortality rate in humans, which is pretty scary. But what this little mongoose is doing seems a bit crazy. There's likely a nest nearby that the small mammal is protecting from this deadly snake, and as insane as it may seem, the mongoose has a great reputation for taking on some of the deadliest snakes on Earth and beating them. They are particularly skilled at killing a snake, even one as aggressive and venomous as the Black Mamba, and it's incredible to watch. Moreover, not only are these little furry mammals good at killing snakes, but they are also equipped with a secret weapon. They are immune to snake venom, so in the end, that must help with the bravery, I suppose. Number 20. Monitor lizard eating a rattlesnake. Large, hungry monitor lizards are fearless and aggressive. They simply don't seem to care if a snake can bite or even inject venom into them, but they should be a little worried about that, since some snake venom is deadly to monitor lizards. However, it is actually believed that they may be immune to rattlesnake venom, so that's lucky for this guy. The large, white-throated monitor lizard, known as Dino, can be seen provoking a rattlesnake and then devouring it with exuberant pleasure. He spends some time just holding the snake firmly by the head while the rattlesnake tries to free itself from the clearly unsustainable situation. The lizard is patient and just waits until the snake gives up and moves on to the dying part of being eaten. Then Dino swallows the whole snake, apparently unconcerned about the bites the unfortunate animal may have given before becoming the lizard's lunch. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Also, check out other interesting videos that are appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.